Playing with Literacy. I'm Dr. York, speech therapy mom, and today I want to kind of go through each letter in the alphabet and talk about how to produce each of those sounds. Often when we're trying to teach letter sounds, the tricky thing is, how do I make those sounds? How do I model those sounds for my children? So I want to go through each letter and talk about how to do that. So the first letter is A, which is ah, and that's just a big open, your mouth is open pretty wide and your tongue is down in your mouth. The second sound is B, or B. So how you make that sound is you take your lips and you close them, and then you burst the sound open very quickly. B, B. You're going to try not to put an sound after that, just B, B. You should notice if you put your hand on your voice there for that sound, you can actually hear your voice is turned on for that sound. B, B. The next sound is C, or K. So for this sound, it's a velar sound. So we make that sound with our soft palate, or our velum, in the back of our tongue. So our tongue goes back and upward in our mouth. K, K, K. And our voice is not turned on. Our voice is off for that sound. K, K. The next sound is D, D. To make this sound, you put your tongue on the little bump behind your teeth. So there's a little bump there called your alveolar ridge. And you put your tongue on that alveolar ridge, and you kind of tap your tongue on that ridge, D, D, and you turn your voice on, D, D. The next sound is E, or eh, eh. It's a front sound. Your tongue is kind of towards the front of your mouth, but your mouth is kind of about halfway open. Eh, eh, like elephant. The next sound is F, or F. So how you make this sound is you take your teeth and you bite your lip. You bite your lip and then you blow, and that produces that frication that you're hearing, that noisy sound that you're hearing there. The next sound is G, or G, G. So how you make this sound is it's a lot like that K sound that we said, or that C sound that we produced earlier. The tongue goes to the back of the mouth. The back of the tongue goes up and towards the velum, toward the soft palate there. G, G. And your vocal folds are turned on. G, G. The next sound is H. How you make this sound is you open your mouth up so that only your glottis, or your vocal folds, are able to make sound. And you just breathe out. The next sound is I, or I. This is kind of a high front sound. So your mouth is mostly closed for that sound, and your tongue is in the front of your mouth. I, I. You'll notice you've got a little bit of a smile, but not quite as much as an E when you're producing that sound. The next sound is J, J. This is both a stop and a fricative. So the sound stops and then it kind of bursts open in a noisy way. So you put your tongue on the alveolar ridge there, behind your teeth, and then you kind of burst the sound open. J, J, J. The next sound is K, or K. This is the same as the C sound that we made earlier. You take the back of your tongue and back it up against the alveolar ridge. K, 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 with your vocal folds off. The next sound is L, oh, oh. There's actually a couple ways to make this sound. I tend to make it where I put my tongue on the alveolar ridge and kind of balance my tongue there a little bit. Oh, oh. My little boy likes to make the L sound with his tongue between his teeth. So he kind of goes, oh, lemon, oh, like, that sort of thing. The next sound is M, or mm. You make this sound by closing your lips and letting the sound resonate through your nasal canal. So you close your lips and say mm, and you should be able to feel your nose vibrate. Mm. The next sound is mm. And I think it's really, really important when I'm teaching this sound to really make a special point to kind of open my mouth so that my child can see that my tongue is up on the alveolar ridge. Mm, mm. Because it's a lot like that M. The M, the lips are closed. Mm. And the N, The tongue is up on the alveolar ridge, and the tongue and the sound is also resonating through my nose. So it's easy for kids to get M and N confused if they can't see the placement for that N. The next sound is O. Ah, ah. And this is kind of in the back of your mouth. So you open your mouth up nice and wide, and it's produced kind of back here in the back of your mouth. Ah, ah. The next sound is P. P, p. To make this sound, your lips close, and then they burst open. P, p. And your vocal folds aren't turned on. P, p. If your vocal folds were turned on, it would be a B. The next sound is Qu. Qu. This is both a K and a W sound. So you back your tongue up to the alveolar, to the velum back there, and then you round your lips for that W. Qu, qu. The next sound is R. I make that sound by putting my tongue near the alveolar ridge and then cupping my tongue up like this. Some people make the R sound kind of bunched in the back of their mouth. With their tongue kind of bunched back in the back of their mouth. The next sound is S, or S. This is made by taking your tongue and putting it really close to that alveolar ridge that we talked about. So those speech bumps behind your teeth. But it doesn't quite touch. It's close, but not quite touching. And this allows the air of the turbulence of the noise that you're hearing. And the vocal folds are turned off. If they were turned on, it would be a Z. The next sound is T, T, or T. So you take your tongue and tap the alveolar ridge behind your teeth. T, 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 that little bump behind your teeth. T, t, t. And your vocal folds are off. They're not turned on. The next sound is U, or This is actually the easiest sound to make. Lots of us make this sound on accident. So you open your mouth and just say, It's right in the middle of your mouth and can be said pretty accidentally. The next sound is V. V. Bite your lip and turn your vocal folds on. V. V. Next we have W. 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 You make this sound in the back of your mouth, but most people notice the front of your mouth where you round your lips, W. W. And you kind of glide towards that sound with the W. The next sound is X. 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 This is a K again, but followed by an S. K. S. X. X. Next we have a Y. Y. This is a gliding sound, so it kind of starts a little bit further back in the mouth and moves forward. Y. 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 Most children, fortunately, get this sound pretty easily. And the last sound is Z. Z. You make this sound just like the S sound. You take your tongue and put it really close to the alveolar ridge and produce air. S. And then you turn your vocal folds on for the Z. 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 And that's it. That's all for our alphabet sounds.